Hi everyone, today we're going to be talking about lesson 8.5, which is solving rational equations. There are two methods for doing this, and I'm going to show you some examples of each and when to use them. So the first method is solving by cross multiplying, which you learned I think back in middle school. And we can use this method if we only have two rational expressions. So in this case I have a single rational expression on the left and one on the right. So I can use cross multiplying to solve. So I'm going to take 3 and multiply it by 4x plus 5, and I'll take 9 and multiply it by x plus 1. So let's go ahead and get started. 3 times 4x plus 5 is equal to 9 times x plus 1. Now I want to continue simplifying each side. I will distribute the 3 to give me 12x plus 15 and distribute the 9 on the right to give me 9x plus 9. Now I want to get my variables on one side and my constants on the other. I'm going to move the 9x to the left and the 15 to the right. So 12x minus 9x is going to give me 3x, and then 9 minus 15 will give me negative 6. When I divide both sides by 3, I'll get that x is equal to negative 2. Now there is a quick little check that we need to do on these. We need to make sure that the answer we just came up with isn't one of those excluded values that we would get from making the denominator 0. So let's check that real quick. So if I look at my first denominator, x plus 1, the value that would make this factor into a 0 would be if it was a negative 1. So x cannot be negative 1 because remember I want to avoid a 0. The second one, 4x plus 5, when I set that equal to 0, I'll move the 5 to the other side, which will make it negative, and then divide by 4. So negative 5 over 4 is my other excluded value. Since x is actually negative 2 and not one of the excluded values, we are good. Let's try another one. This one has x's in one of the numerators as well as both denominators. So we're going to have x times x is x squared, and that's going to be equal to negative 4 times x plus 1. I want to simplify the right by distributing negative 4x minus 4, and now I need to think about how to continue solving. I see that I have the makings of a quadratic, and because it has a middle term, I can't solve by square roots, so I need to move everything to one side and try to solve by factor. Let's move it to the side with the x squared to keep the a value as a positive 1. So x squared plus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. And the factors that will work here are going to be a plus 2 and another plus 2. That leaves me with x plus 2 equals 0, or x is equal to negative 2. And now we need to do our little check again. So in this first denominator, x plus 1, that means that x cannot equal negative 1 because that would make the denominator 0. Here, if I was going to try to make the denominator 0, then x itself would have to be 0. So x can also not be 0, but negative 2 isn't either of those, so we are okay and it checks out.